Hello guys, welcome to weekly outlook here on gold, the pound USD, the USDCAD, and definitely the DXY. For this week, let's quickly start with the DXY, and on this one I'll be starting from the monthly time frame and we can see what has played out so far this past couple of months here on DXY. We've seen price beginning of the year, price from 2022 to the beginning of the year, we saw price just huge down from all the way to that's towards the end of last year back into these regions of 100, and we snapped into 99.50. That was last month, and now it looks like we're going to be rejecting this region to create a bullish momentum. Slide down back to, let's say, daily time frame. We can see price dipped into this region, and now we are back at a very critical area where price dropped, creating a double top here before it dropped. Now we are back at that region. Best bet is it's going to reject this region and continue to the downside, possibly coming back to create an inverse head and shoulder pattern around 101 region here, psychological level. All right, so if that's going to happen, if price is really going to reject this region, which we've seen multiple confluences, we've seen a downward trend line here being retested the third time, which is a very good one. This is the first one, and we've seen price at a very critical resistance level of 103.50. And thirdly, we can see the chart pattern here created more like a peanut, and basically it means we could possibly just break and create structures to go to the downside. And on the daily time frame, we could actually call this a double top here. So a huge confluence showing signs that price might actually just pull to these regions of 100 again, 101 psychological level. And if we slide into the 4 hours time frame, we're looking at the rejections 1, 2, 3, and possibly at market open we might start seeing structures at the end of Monday, maybe showing us a sign that we might be going to the downside. There are levels I can see here that I don't really need to draw, but if price start breaking them and creating lower lows and lower highs, then we can possibly say, okay, we are sure this is where we are heading out to. So I'll draw the signs here for the DXY this week. If price ends up breaking up this region, then we might see a good break and retest to retest this region, so 104.50. Possibly at the end we might see price come back all the way to 105. All right, but that might just not my best first bias. My main bias here now is for price to really just reject this region here and give us more structures to keep going down to the downside to retest this region here. That's what I have for the week, and that if that's going to play out, if that's going to really play out the way I anticipate it to play, then we can see let's start with the pound USD. Then we can see on pound USD, if price is going to really start pulling down on DXY, then we might actually see that continuation of price to break through this more like a heavy big time frame range in here to start creating higher highs and higher lows, which is a bullish momentum. From the daily time frame here, you're going to see what I'm anticipating here on the pound USD. Pound USD broke above this region, so 126 here, came back to retest it, and it made a new high. Now we came back here for a retest, so what I'm anticipating is for price to load up and then we'll come back at least to retest this region on 130, 131, and probably break it or just create a double top there, and then we can slide down. So for now, I'm looking at multiple confluences for possible buy opportunities on let's just say on pound USD here. So sliding back on the 4 hours time frame, what do I see? I see price creating a double bottom here and retesting this major key intraday levels here. So what I'm looking at for next week is for price to really break out through this strong resistance it's been holding last week, which is 1.2780, break it, retest it, then we've broken down the downward trend line, broken above a strong resistance, and then we can consider price to continue to the upside, which is this. So I'm looking at break, retest, break, retest, and then we can start seeing price continue to the upside. All right, so this is my basic view. This is my best bias on pound USD. Other than that, market is not really anything. I'm just looking to sell. Before I start selling here on pound USD, I'll need to see price just kind of break through this region keep back into these regions and start creating lower lows and lower highs before I can actually possibly say, okay, all right, we're ready for that sell, all right, on pound USD. So that's that on pound USD. And let me quickly also hit up on USDCAD. Gold will be the last for today. So on USDCAD here, I'm looking at a very strong stuff happening here. We've seen price bull up to these regions. Previously we saw price push down to these regions. My anticipation was price to reject this region in the past weeks and then continue to the downside. Then we see an overextension to these regions here. Now, if we slide down to the 4 hours time frame, you see that we are at a very key major region here of 135.80, and price looks to be rejecting it. So I'm not confident yet to sell until I see structures creating lower lows and lower highs. And if we slide down to the 1 hour time frame, that's only when I can be able to do that. I can actually see possible more like upward trend line here, just for a break of it, and then probably see price to really want to go down. So what I'm anticipating for USDCAD is just simple, for the week. This is what I'm anticipating. So price to actually just go down from that region. That would be respecting the DXY pattern, because the DXY going down means the USDCAD going down. So that's basically it. Otherwise, what we'll be anticipating is that price is actually going to break through this region, possible retest, and then retest this region, which is more like playing out what would happen here on DXY. Okay, so basically that's that on USDCAD quickly. And lastly, we'll have a bonus on Euro USD, but let's quickly look at the gold. The gold looks like it has retested it's going towards more like, look at what happened. Price created a low here, came back to create a double top here, with, touching the downward trend line. We've seen price creating a new low here, but price has actually attracted to a very key region here. Previously was a great resistant region, breaks, and it forms a huge support region too. So I'm anticipating price to really reject a little bit from this region here. So for gold, I might not trade it very well this week, because until I see a very good rejection and more like a pattern created here. On the 4 hours time frame, what I'll be looking out for is this. So I'm looking out for something like this. I'm looking out for price to just give me a double bottom and then reject to this region. This is what I'm anticipating for the week. Other than that, if price keeps its bearish movement, then we'll be anticipating something like break of these regions, and then we'll continue to the downside here. This is not very likely, but yeah, we'll put that into consideration. So basically that's what I'm anticipating for gold. We can see clearly here from the daily time frame. So more like create me a double bottom here, depending on the volatility, and then start going to the upside, or we can just break through these regions and continue to the downside. So that's that on gold. And lastly, let's look at the bonus here on Euro USD. It flows with the pound USD. Let's just go straight to the 4 hours time frame. Price is at a very critical support region, and we've seen price just slowing down. What I'm anticipating going forward is for price to bull up, just bull up, something like that. This might take weeks depending on the volatility. Other than that, this is not very likely. Price breaking towards this region and going to the downside, but market is not 100% predictable, so we can see price possibly break this, but this is a very, very strong support region. So if we slide down to the 1 hour time frame, what I'll be looking out for is, okay, you see the downward trend line, break of it into this region, and holding of this region as a new support, and then we can continue breaking towards the next resistance region, creating support and continuing to the upside. So this is basically what I'm anticipating for Euro USD going forward in this week. So basically my most sweetest bias is, of course, the DXY looks very, very charming, very charming, and sweet. So if the DXY is going to play out, I think I see a very sweet setup here on the USDCAD going down, and next would be pound USD, of course, then basically gold last, and yeah, for the bonus Euro USD also looks very, very good. All right, I'll see you guys on Saturday, Sunday next week, during the week for the recap, and make sure you bag a lot of pips this week, bag a lot of pips, and enjoy. Yeah, see you guys. Ciao.